So what is it like doing a driving test at Redcliffe test area? In this video, just like other videos that I've done before, I'm going to be talking you through what I'm doing, and I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks along the way. I'm Chris, and if you are new to our channel, please consider subscribing to our channel and also turn on the notification bell so that you get notified when we release new videos. You can also check us out on Instagram, Signal Driving School Australia. So Redcliffe is one of those centers that a number of people consider doing their driving test, and I think it's one of those centers that it's not that difficult, but at the same time, the examiner has a lot of options. They can throw in something that is unfamiliar to you. So I would recommend that if you are doing your driving test around Redcliffe, that you come and drive around a little bit, get a feel of how the area feels like, because every place that you drive is gonna feel different. So I'm going to be driving around and I'm gonna talk you through what I'm doing, and hopefully this will help you out if you are doing your driving test soon. So I'm gonna put the car in drive. I'm gonna put the handbrake down. I'm just a few meters from where the center is at the moment, so I'm gonna indicate, check around, and then I'm gonna go inside the center and I'm gonna be driving around from there. So the center is located just straight ahead, so I'm going to enter. So I'm just gonna go straight into the center. When you come here, it's always recommended that you reverse into one of the parking bay, and it's some of the parkings on the right. So you can park in any of the parkings on the right. It will say driver assessment vehicles only, but I'm gonna be reversing into one of the ones on the left. So into reverse, look around, look behind, use my mirrors to judge the distance, checking behind as well. So when you come here, come around 20 minutes before the test, and then you're gonna park the car and then go inside the office to let them know that you've arrived. It's important that you go into the office because the driving examiner, they're not gonna know that you've arrived if you don't go in and tell them that you are there. And then from here, the driving examiner, they will stand outside your car. They will ask you to put the car in pre-ignition. So I'll show you what that looks like here. So putting the car in pre-ignition, you turn the key. Usually if you have your key, you're gonna put your key inside and you turn it twice. So you don't start the ignition and the dashboard lights will come on. And then usually the examiner will say indicate left, and then they'll say to you indicate right, and then they also say to beep the horn. So those are the things that the examiner can ask you to do. Okay, and then from there, when the examiner comes inside the vehicle, you're gonna make sure that you start your car. So I've started my vehicle now. Seat belt on, the door, make sure your door is closed, and then radio off, obviously. And then the examiner can ask you some questions about the car. They can tell you to maybe turn on the hazard lights or maybe to turn on the windscreen wipers. So it depends on what the examiner wants to ask you. And then from there, the examiner will tell you when you're ready, you can move off. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the car in drive. This drive, I'm gonna probably drive around for maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So it's gonna be a quick short video. I'm gonna put on my indicator. I'm gonna look around, make sure no cars are coming. Also, there will be a lot of pedestrians around, so it's important to keep checking. Here, the examiner can tell you to either go straight or to go left, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn left. So I'm going left. Now when you turn into this street, the speed limit here is 50. Very important. And also there is a lot of vehicle parked on the side, so you don't want to be very close to them. Now at the end of the street, I'm gonna be going right, so I'm going to make a right turn at the end. So once I'm getting close enough, I'm gonna check my mirrors. I'm gonna put on my indicator. There is a cyclist, so I'm gonna slow down a bit. And then once I come here, it's a kind of like a closed intersection because it's a bit hard to see. So you wanna be going slow. It's really hard to see. There's a car, so I had to do a last minute stop there. Okay, I'm gonna inch forward again, have another look. Okay, looks good, so I can go. So it's a little bit tricky there because there's a lot of cars parked on the sides. On this street here at the end, I'm going to be going left. So I'm gonna put on my indicator, I'm gonna check my mirrors. And then it's a giveaway sign. I have a good visibility on the right, so I can go. And then at the end of the street, the examiner can tell you to go left or to go right. So I'm going to be going right at the end of the street. So I'm gonna go right at the end and then I'm gonna go left. Okay, so once I'm close enough, I'm gonna check my mirrors. I'm gonna put on my indicator. I'm gonna slow down. This road can get a little bit busy. Again, it's a little bit hard to see there. So it's important that if you can't see properly, you go slow. Because a lot of people rush it and then the examiner intervenes. Okay, so it looks good, so I can turn. Once I turn here, I know I need to turn left. So I need to make sure I position myself on the left-hand side in the left lane. But before I do, indicator, check my mirror. I'm also going to do a shoulder check because there's a big space on the left. Check through the traffic lights and then I turn. Once I turn, I see here there is a speed limit of 60. So I'm gonna increase my speed, build up the speed, every now and then checking my mirrors. And then I see there's a traffic light coming up ahead. So I don't have to be going fast. I can already take off my foot from the accelerator and then start braking, check my rear view mirror as well as I brake. And once I stop as well, I need to make sure that I'm not too close to the car in front. Okay, so the light has changed to green. So we're gonna start moving soon, I think. Okay, they are moving, so I can move. So once I move, increase my speed, check through the traffic lights. Let's say the examiner asks you to change lanes. So I'm gonna put on my indicator, I'm gonna check my mirrors, I'm gonna shoulder check to the right, then I'm gonna move. The light has changed to amber, so I need to start braking. Make sure I'm not too close to the car in front, check my mirror. The light has changed to green, so we can start moving. Looking to see what's going on around, because sometimes people can do some things which are unexpected. The light has changed to amber ahead, so I need to start braking already. Check my rear view mirror when I brake. So basically keeping it nice and safe without having to do last minute things. It's important to learn how to look ahead. So you want to get into a habit of always looking ahead and seeing what's going on ahead. And even when we're waiting here at the light, sometimes we can always check around, trying to see what's going on, because, I mean, maybe the speed limit might change ahead, you never know. The light has changed to green, we're gonna start moving, and then checking through the traffic lights. Again, here looking ahead, I can see there's a red light coming up. So the speed is still 60, making sure I'm not going too fast. And also it's important that you don't do what the cars in front of you are doing, because some of them might be going a little bit over the speed limit. So if you follow them, if they are doing 63 or 65 in a 60 zone, you're gonna fail the test. Let's say the examiner has asked me to go left at the next roundabout. So although I cannot see the roundabout yet, but I know that if I need to turn left at the roundabout, I need to be in the left lane. So in that case, you want to be changing lanes. So I'm going to indicate, I'm going to make sure that the person in the left lane, they give way to me. Okay, they are going a bit slow, so I'm gonna just take my time, check my mirror, I'm gonna do a shoulder check, and then I'm gonna move. And also it's important that we don't change lane in the middle of the intersection, like traffic lights. So I'm going to be going left at this roundabout. So I'm gonna put on my left indicator. I'm already in the turning lane, which is good. And then I'm gonna check my right-hand side inside the roundabout. Nobody's there, so I can turn. Now, this is where things can get a bit difficult. This road is 30, but there is some places which are 10. So if you're doing your driving test, you're gonna be obeying all of this. So the speed here is 10. There's a guy there, I don't know what he's doing, whether he wanna cross. He doesn't look like he's going across. I need to do 10 around here at this point. After I pass that point, the speed goes back to 30. And also there is signs which says you must give way to pedestrians. So again here, this area here is called the shared zone. So it's 10. I need to go 10. So keeping it really slow, looking for pedestrians. And then I can increase the speed again back to 30. So this is a little bit tricky because this is unique. I think if you haven't driven around Redcliffe, you can fail your test very easily here. Again, same thing, shared zone, pedestrians, I need to be looking out. There is no pedestrians, but the speed I need to be doing no more than 10. So very slow, walking pace. Even if you think the people behind you, they are pushing you a little bit, don't worry about it. After that point, shared zone, I can go back to 30. But there's another one here as well. So I need to go slow, another shared zone, looking through, making sure no pedestrians are there. So again, 10 kilometers an hour here, very hard to do. And then once I cross there, and then I can increase my speed back to 30. So this is still 30 area. Again here, it's gonna be 10 kilometers per hour, shared zone. Probably this is the last one. So I'm gonna go slow, look for pedestrians. Because this place is near the coast, so there's a lot of tourists that come here. That's why they make the speed 10 on that spot. Okay, so once I go, I can now go back to 30. At this roundabout, I'm gonna be going left. So I'm gonna indicate left. The bus wasn't moving, so that's fine. Remember, if a bus is indicating, you must give way to the bus. So like this one as well, I need to make sure that bus is not indicating. Okay. There's another roundabout here. So I'm going to be going left at that roundabout. If you are driving a manual car, when it says 10, you need to be going in gear 1, first gear. So here I'm going to go left. I'm going to look inside the roundabout, look on the right. There's no one coming, so I can turn. Again, here there is a sign which says 30. So it's important that I'm not going too fast. And then again, here it says 10. So looking for pedestrians, making sure I'm going slow. If you are driving a manual car, you would select first gear. And then again here, we can increase the speed back to 30. So here we are back again to the 10 kilometers per hour zone. So that pedestrian, I need to give way. So once she crosses, I can go doing 10. Once I cross that place, I can now increase my speed back to 30. But here there's another one which says shared zone. So I need to make sure I give way to that pedestrian. So see, that car just went through. That would have been a fail, because you have to give way to the pedestrians. Even these ones, I actually need to give way to them. So this is why this can be a little bit tricky. The sign there says I have to give way to the pedestrians. Okay, so I can go now. Again, still doing 10. And then again, it's back to 30. Also, like that car is gonna pull out. So I need to be careful. They're supposed to give way to me, but I need to be careful. So part of the driving test also is like, you need to be able to like identify the hazards. Okay, so this is gonna be a little bit different because it looks like the bus are taking up a bit of the space. So I'm gonna probably wait because I don't know, I wouldn't want to overtake here unless the bus doesn't move immediately. And it's a bit hard to see as well. So, okay, the first bus is moving. There's a pedestrian crossing here as well. So I need to be a little bit careful. Okay, those people also looks like they are crossing. So when you're driving in places like this, it's important that you don't rush anything. You want to be looking out. A lot of observation and scanning here. Okay, so I can go. Also be careful with this bus because it can start moving. So the bus indicated, but I was already past the bus, so that's fine. At these traffic lights, I'm gonna go right. Now this traffic light is also a little bit different. So it's a green light, but there's no green arrow. So I need to make sure there's no oncoming traffic. No one is coming, so I can turn. Once I turn in this street, I need to look for the new speed limit. It's 60 there, but there is a red light, so there's no point for me like speeding up. So I'm gonna brake. And then I stop nicely behind this car. Once the lights change to green, I'm gonna look left and right. Checking my mirrors as well every now and then. Once I'm braking, I'm gonna check my rear view mirror. Then I'm gonna make sure that I'm not too close to the car in front. Probably that area there, that busy area, shared zones, I think that's one of the most challenging places in Redcliffe. I think if you can do that part, the rest are pretty much straightforward. I mean, there may be some school zones as well, but I think that's probably one of the biggest challenge. So here is 60, so I can increase my speed, make sure I'm not going too slow, and make sure I'm not going too fast. So I don't want to be holding up traffic. Checking my mirrors every now and then. Okay, so at the next traffic lights, I'm gonna be going right. So let's say the examiner asks you to go right. So you wanna be checking your rear view mirror, right side mirror, indicate right, get into the turning lane. There's a green light. It doesn't have a green arrow, so I can actually go forward in the middle of the intersection and then give way to oncoming traffic. Okay, the light has changed, but I can turn. And then here, I'm gonna increase my speed, but I don't know the speed. So if you don't see the speed limit, you can assume it's 50. Although I'm pretty sure this road is 60. So if you don't know the speed limit, if you miss the sign, you can assume it's 50. So you're not gonna fail because you're doing 50 and you haven't seen the sign. If they didn't put a sign, it's definitely not your fault. Because some roads I know they don't put a sign. So you just keep doing 50 until you see the next sign. So there's a 60 here on the left. So I confirmed that's 60. Now I'm 100% sure that's 60. Okay, so I'm going to be going left at the roundabout. If you look on the left, there's a bicycle lane there. So before I cross the bicycle lane, I'm gonna indicate, check my mirrors. I'm also gonna do a shoulder check. Then I'm gonna move into the turning lane. Then I'm gonna slow down. So it's a lot of bicycle lanes here. Okay, that car is going left, so I can turn. Once I turn in this street, I'm gonna look for the speed limit. I'm also gonna check my mirrors. So I know it's 60, so I can do like, 56, 57. You don't wanna be exactly sitting at 60, because if the speed go over, that's not good. You can fail the driving test. Okay, so I'm going to continue. There's another roundabout coming up, so I'm going to be going left at that roundabout. So I'm going to pass this street here before I indicate. So passing the street, I'm going to check my mirror, and I'm going to indicate. There's a big space on the left, so I'm also going to do a shoulder check. Then I'll move into the turning lane, slowing down the car. I'm going to start looking on the right. There's cars moving there, so I'm going to give way to them. Once they move, I'm going to check again. There's no one, so I can turn. Once I turn in this street, I see there is a sign which says 60. And I'm going to be taking the first road on the right. So I'm going to check my mirrors. I'm going to indicate. I'm going to slow down. I have to give way to that car because it's very close. And it looks like they are going fast. And then I can turn. Once I turn, I don't see the speed limit here. So I'm going to assume this road is 50. So I'm going to do like 46, 47. So let's say the examiner asks you to do a U-turn at the end of the street. So that's what I'm going to do at the moment. So with the U-turn, I'm going to get close enough. I'm going to check my mirrors. I'm going to put on the right indicator. I'm going to slow down the car. It's like a giveaway sign. So, and then there is a pedestrian. So I'm going to wait for the pedestrian because I'm doing a U-turn. Okay, so I'm going to go forward. Now it's important that you go forward quite a bit and then turn. If you turn immediately, you can fail the test. And then looking around, there's no one coming, so I can turn back. Once I turn back, I'm gonna increase my speed, check my mirrors, and then let's say the examiner asks you to do a reverse parallel park behind the red car. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna check my mirrors. I'm gonna put on my left indicator. I'm gonna slow down the car. Obviously, everybody have different techniques. So this is not a lesson about how to do a reverse parallel park. So you probably, if you don't know how to do it, it's probably best to book a driving lesson. So I'm gonna put in reverse. I'm gonna check my mirrors. I'm gonna shoulder check. I'm gonna look behind. I'm gonna reverse a little bit so that I don't get too close to the car. Then I'm gonna turn, looking around. Once I feel like I'm close enough, can turn back, looking around again every time I change direction. Make sure I don't hit the curb. Looking behind. So looks like I'm in. Then I straighten up. And then usually once you finish, put the car in park, handbrake on to tell the examiner that you finished. And then from there, you go into drive. If you're not sure that you can make it, it might be best to reverse a little bit. So I'm gonna actually reverse a little bit to give myself a little bit more space. I see there's a car coming, so I'm actually not gonna indicate yet. Just gonna wait for it. Okay, it's going, so I'm gonna indicate, check my mirrors, shoulder check, and I can move off. Once I move off, I know the speed limit here is 50, sorry. So I can increase my speed. So at this intersection coming up, I'm gonna be going right. So I'm heading back to the center where I started from. And usually once you're doing like 25 minutes, the driving examiner will be happy and they will tell you they'll just direct you back to the center and then you pass. So I'm gonna check. Okay, so there is some cars coming, so I'm gonna wait for them. Okay, there's some other cars coming. There's a motorbike, but it's too far, so I can actually turn. So when you are waiting at the intersection, you need to be estimating whether you can turn safely without slowing down other people. So like there, I could make the turn because the motorbike was a bit too far. And I didn't even slow them down. Okay. So I know this is 60, so I can go around 56, 57. Okay, so before the traffic lights, there is a street. I'm gonna be going right at that street. So I'm gonna indicate, I'm gonna check my mirrors. I'm gonna slow down the car. And I'm gonna move forward so that I don't cut the corner, and then I can turn. Once I turn, I know the speed limit here is 50 because there is no sign, so I have to assume it's 50. Yeah, so keeping the speed nice and slow, checking my mirrors every now and then. I mean, you don't want to be going too slow as well. You're gonna make sure you balance it out. You have to probably doing like 3 kilometers below the limit is fine. But if you're doing like 40 in a 50 zone, probably a little bit slow. Considering that this is like an open road, there's not so much obstructions. Also keeping an eye on people who open their door, because sometimes the door can come open and you might have to slow down. Checking my mirrors every now and then. So just around the bend, I'm gonna go around the bend and then that's back to the center. Probably I'm not gonna go back to the center because there may not be a parking. Actually, I'll go back to the center because even on the left here, there's no parking. So here, going inside the center, obviously that's like a car park. So we have to make sure we slow down before we go in. So slowing the car down. I don't think there is parking here. But I can park into this one. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed watching that video, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments down below. So that's Redcliffe for you. Basically, I think it's not very difficult, but like you saw, there can be some unique situation which can come up, and if you're not careful, you can maybe speed in maybe a 30 zone, or even that small part which was 10 kilometers an hour. If you're not careful, you might end up speeding. So it's always best to drive around the area. Book driving lessons with an instructor who knows the area so that they can show you around. Otherwise, if you are doing your driving test soon, I wish you the best of luck. See you in the next video. So I'm gonna go out because I don't wanna keep standing back here. Park on the